Hello and welcome back to PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. It is Tuesday, May 16th, 2023, and let's get into the markets. So this is the S&P 500. Let's start with the obvious. It's red on the daily candles and has been for 2 days, working into a third day. This recent little candle here is tomorrow's price action. It was green for a couple days. Our True Momo indicator, which is a combination of true momentum and some other momentum that we built, um, jammed together. And I talked about this the other day. I've put some the actual squeeze into it and built it into the histogram. So I'm doing that for my own edification. You can take it or leave it. I can make it available. The one that we're selling online doesn't have that, but I think it's actually remarkable. Not in a great way, just happens to be remarkable because the squeeze itself turns dark blue when the true Momo indicator continues to be green. And I think that's important. When they both turn red, or I should say, one turns red and the other turns blue, that's probably more significant. So you can take that for what it's worth. I've just delving into it. So I'm constantly working on things to make my trading better, and I'm going to continue to share that. That's what I do online here, and I'm also doing my homework while I'm doing it. Um, but anyways, we have bullish indication to the upside on the daily True Momo, daily price action, and the True Momo actually is with the squeeze. You can see it's got yellow candles, even though we're in a downtrend here. So that's a the True Momo indicator wants to go down, but the squeeze itself is showing that we have some potential positive momentum. So those two things together, that's more information than I had before. So um, I think it's worthwhile. And on the weekly over here, we've gone back into a squeeze, and all that means is that the price action is more likely to stay sideways until it picks a direction. And I've also drawn a box around the price action on the daily chart, and we're still right in the middle of it. Would have been a great place to put on an iron condor if you have any idea what that is. Would have been great a week or two or three ago, because this range has gone sideways, and an iron condor is where you can sell price action to the upside and price action to the downside. And as long as your range stays, your price stays inside of a range, then you actually collect the premium on both sides of that. I didn't do that, but that would have been a great place to do that. So that the S&P 500 still walking sideways. That's the bottom line. The and it's bullish in most cases over here on the weekly chart. The Russell is down and has some bullishness to it, but it's mostly down. The Dow, it's down on the daily and up on the weekly, so that's interesting. It's not obviously, and I mean, those things are not in harmony. And the NASDAQ is still powering higher. So, and we actually launched out of a squeeze. One that's 512, so 1, 2, 3, 4 bars ago, if you count tomorrow's bar. So, and I also threw this on here. That bright blue line at the top is the 52-week high for this instrument, which happens to be the 52-week high. It would also, if it showed up that way, would be the all-time high if it was the all-time high. It's worth looking at a 52-week high and an all-time high. That's not what it is. I'm sure it's not the all-time high in the Nasdaq, but anyways, when those things come together, it's actually a really important price level. So the question I have is that enough of a magnet to get us up there? And I actually think it is. So, uh, oil. Let's look at oil. Um, it's got bullish momentum, even though it's down on the True Momo indicator. It's bearish on the moving averages, bearish on the weekly, on everything, from what I can tell. So I would not be long this if I had to, or there's no reason to be long in oil right now. All right, and then we'll flip over to the bullish percent indexes, and let's look at the New York Stock Exchange, down 0.93%. The transports probably didn't move because they usually take a giant move to move. The Nasdaq minus 1.03%. The SPX minus 0.79%. The OEX didn't move today, and the NDX actually tacked on an X today and added 3.57%. So, what do you make of that? Let's add them all together and look at the price action, at least, of what they all look like on a chart. And they look an awful lot like the S&P 500, except this is red and that is yellow, and it just looks sideways. There's nothing to be too concerned about up or down here, the way I see it, until it breaks loose. So, and then let's flip over to our automatic trading system. So this is the Dow futures, and it's been down lately. That's that most recent. I don't know if you guys know when I'm drawing that. That's that most recent downtrend. Obviously, this is a nice uptrend right there. That's a downtrend. We needed to pick back up again and make something nice. This is it on a 6-month basis, and it is good. This is the Russell 2000, and we had a nice giant up move yesterday, and we've had a pullback. I think that's probably one trade today. This is what it looks like on a 6-month basis, and that's a new all-time high just yesterday, even though I recalibrated this just recently. So it would be new all-time highs for anybody that just got into it, but honestly, I don't even think I've had anybody upgrade lately into this. So this is the Nasdaq, and it's gone sideways for a bit here, sideways to down. So if you live through all this, or I should say, if you were partying through all this uptrend here, now you're looking at a sideways market, and you want that back. Now, if you end up having this kind of a sideways market to the downside, you're going to have to, this is what that looked like on a longer term trend. God darn. And we've had some of these down markets before. There's one. There's one. And so what we want this to do is pick up, obviously, and start making new all-time highs in our equity curve. So Hope that's good for everybody. Take care, guys. Good trading, and have a great rest of the week. We will talk to you tomorrow night.